Hey guys, sorry for the delay in recording. I meant to do the questions and answer video. Been trying to for like a week and a half now. I have to apologize. There's going to, unfortunately, of all days, I hit the day that they're mowing the lawn at the local park. He's coming straight here too. Let's wait a second. Let's wait a second. I still can't quit. I gotta record this, man. Okay, he's coming one way. Oh my gosh. So, it's been kind of crazy. I've been trying to... Oh god, is he coming back? Of course he is. Let me cut for a little while. I came here because I thought a change of venue would be nice rather than just recording at the house. And he's coming right back. I swear it's like a conspiracy. Trying to, like, every time I try to film this video, something like this happens. I'm strolling around the park. I'm going to look for another spot, maybe away from them, where I can actually videotape. I'm just looking for a change of venue. It's different than recording in the house, because that can be boring. So I thought we'd get a nice little background to this one. Last week I tried to record, but I was hitting like record heat. It was supposed to be, I don't know, it hit like 115 during the day. I was going to try to record last week, which was too much, even for the morning. Today's supposed to be 105, but it's probably more like 9 now in the morning, and it's in the 80s, but it's not too bad. But yeah, and then I go to try to record again last week, and I think I had food poisoning. I was out for a couple of days. It was really bad, but anyways. Finally, I can get to the question and answers. I'm going to try to get as much done here in the park with a beautiful background before I go back home. I have a lot of questions to go to, and then we'll also do the drawing at home too. All right, so without further ado, let's get to as many questions as we can before I have to stop again because there's something coming up on me. Okay, let's start with Rogue Life. She was asking about bigger people. Where can she find a down jacket? And other hiking clothes that fits her size, because obviously I'm a bigger person too. I luck out a little bit, Rogue. Because of my build and my height, I can fit into men's clothes. I don't have much hips, and I have broad shoulders, and I'm not well endowed on top, unlike my mother. She took it all. So I can fit in men's clothes. I find 2Xs, I usually do 2Xs on top or extra large sometimes. If it's a men's, I can fit into an extra large depending on the cut. Bottoms, I have to try them on because everything's cut differently. You can find them at REI, you can find them at Amazon. I'm not curvy though. You might be curvy. Curvy is a little bit harder to fit, but I know brands like Columbia and Patagonia are a little bit better on making the larger sizes, and there's other brands out there too, I'm sure, but those are the two that I know of that make good sizes, and they do carry Columbia at, I believe REI does anyways, and I actually fit into an REI pair of hiking pants too. The inseams are almost a little bit too short. I think it was a men or a women's, I can't remember, but I have 32-inch inseams. Technically I have 33-inch inseams, but I can get away with 32s. But I'm built a little bit differently. I'm big, but I don't have the curves. So it's a little bit easier for me than it might be for some other people. Hopefully that helps, but look up Columbia, Patagonia, and people that carry that so you can try them on. Columbia's everywhere though, for sure. Let's go to Eaglet next for the next question. She asked, how in reality did through hiking play out to what I thought it would be? And what led me to discover that section hiking might be a better fit for that? Through hiking, oh gosh, I got into it because of someone just walked by. I was hiking with someone who had done the Appalachian Trail and the PCT, and he just got me just telling me about the trail. I didn't know it existed before, even though I grew up in Southern California. And I started reading up on it, learning about it, and then quickly became obsessed about it. Started getting gear, started hiking longer, doing some overnights here and there, but really only like a single overnight because of work. I couldn't do more. In reality, and then you have this fantasy that's in your head about the PCT and about what it's going to be like, because especially if you watch vlogs, sitting in your chair, sipping on a cocktail or a nice cold drink and watching other people do it, you're like, oh, that looks so awesome, that looks so fun, and it is, but, and you always hear about the phrase, embrace the suck and the brutality, and you don't quite realize what that is until you're out there yourself, and you do have to learn how to embrace the suck and brutality. In reality, it did play out how I thought it would, except that I thought I would perform better. I thought I would be doing longer miles from day one, which is still low miles compared to other people, but you know, day one I did 8.8, 9 miles. I thought for sure easily 12, and then, oh, they're starting up again, they're mowing the lawn, and then potentially 15, but no way. I knew I'd have trouble with heat. I just didn't realize how badly I would have trouble with heat. And I went during a wet year. I mean, it was a lot of rain this year, so we had more water sources than there typically is. And those first 20 miles, I just can't even imagine what it's like normally. It's like, wow. So in reality, it's a lot harder than you think it is. And I don't know what I could have done to make it easier, because no matter what, even in better shape, I would have had trouble with the heat. I was happy with my 12 miles out of Lake Marina. That's what I had planned to do. And I was getting better. I was getting longer miles on average. But the body, it makes me wish I would have tried this when I had heard of the trail when I was like a couple of decades younger, because the arthritis wouldn't have impacted as much. It still would have been painful, but not quite to the degree that it was. And she also asked, do I have too heavy of a pack? Like, what? I'm not ultralight by any means. I never claimed to be a UL ultralight, but I am lightweight. My base weight was 16 and a half pounds. And that was pretty good, I thought. She also pointed out stuff in the garage. You have a lot of stuff in there. I'm like, some of that stuff isn't ours. The stuff that you saw in the background, girl, you saw a garage sale sign down below there. That was a pile for the garage sale, or giving to Goodwill. Or a lot of that stuff is the kids that moved out and they haven't claimed it yet. And that stuff's going up for sale at a garage sale, and if it doesn't sell, it's going to Goodwill. A lot of that stuff that you saw in the background were, packing material. And I will say there's a lot of Christmas decorations we could probably thin down, but there's not a lot in there. You just saw unfortunately, the messy parts of the garage. We're organized, but we're not that organized. Okay, anyways, moving on. This one comes from Feschina, I want to say. She asks, what motivated me to do my hikes and what motivates you to make videos? What motivated you during your hikes? I think that's what it was. I wrote this down, obviously, a while ago, and I'm trying to interpret this now. Let me answer the second part, at least. What motivates me to do my videos? As I mentioned before, I watched a lot of videos. Since 2013, I've been watching vlogs just to learn about the trail, to learn about equipment, to learn about what kind of problems I might encounter on the trail. And I wanted to, one, do the same sort of thing for future thru hikers. Two, have a video memory of this for myself to look back on when I can't move anymore because of arthritis. And also for friends and family to watch along too. They wanted, the ones that can't hike, especially my parents, is the way to keep tabs on me because they were worried sick. They didn't want me to go on it at all, but that isn't going to happen. Oh, you know what? I don't think I answered Eaglet's second question. Like, what led me to discover section hiking would be a better fit? Around mile 100, when I realized, with the pain mounting every day because of arthritis and other things, I didn't know it was arthritis at the time. I thought it was a stress fracture. I can't say that for some reason. and the difficulties I was encountering. And later on, I got mentally in my head at Warner Springs when I quit the time because of the rain, and then came back a week and a half later and got promptly sick. And I'm like, you know what? I think I'd be much happier as a section hiker doing long sections, even if it was a few weeks at a time, and then I could come home and recover. If you see me twitchy, it's because people are coming up behind me or something. Yeah. Okay, next question. Liz Ramos asked if I had 2 different jackets for rain and wind, or do I have one to serve both? I usually do one to serve both because it helps with weight. I started out with that blue Patagonia, the one that wetted out during that rainstorm in Warner Springs. I don't know, it just wasn't good. The orange jacket that I had that last day also serves as both. It just helps with weight. If you can find something that's waterproof, it also serves as a wind jacket. Morning. It's a corgi. Chris Claypool asks, what are you going to do with all that mac and cheese? Chris, I actually have eaten a few of it. The ones that actually were in my resupply packages, I fixed a couple of those for lunch, like during the time I've had off since I've gotten home. Most of it's going to be an emergency, like earthquake, or an emergency food source for like an earthquake, or when you need that. You're supposed to have an earthquake kit with food. That's a lot of mac and cheese, but I'm going to use it and eat it, and maybe even bring along for future hikes. It keeps for a long time, so it's a lot of mac and cheese, I know. And Tammy doesn't like it. She doesn't like mac and cheese, so more for me? I don't know. Okay, Renee Blaylock asks, did I start small when I was hiking? Where did I begin hiking? And what did I carry when I started hiking? Let's do one at a time. I started hiking more when I moved out here to the desert. More so than when I lived in Riverside. I would hike, I would walk around a little bit and hike, but not too much. When I got to the desert, there's a lot of hiking trails out here, especially during season, which it is not right now, which is why it's so hot. And I started geocaching, and then I started hiking out to these longer trails to find the geocaches that were hidden back there. And then it got to the point where I just stopped geocaching. I was just doing it for the hike. And small would be a few miles, like 2 or 3 miles, a loop or an out and back, and then if I had time, I'd go longer and longer and longer, and just go deeper, because these mountains back here, you can go really deep. Just make sure you know where you're going or have a map, and bring a lot of water. Always bring a lot of water, even during winter time here. I can't tell you how many rescues there are here, because a lot of the people don't bring water. There it goes. Where did I begin hiking? Like I said, Riverside area, but out here is when I really started hiking. Out here, meaning the Coachella Valley, La Quinta, Palm Desert, Palm Springs. There's a bunch of hiking trails there. Back at Thousand Palms and Preserves. Whitewater is not too far. To the east, there's the Payton Canyons. I have not hiked that yet because there's dirt roads leading to that, and I don't have a high clearance vehicle. So someday I'm going to get out there. There's ladder canyons out there. There's so many cool things out there. And what did I carry when I started hiking? When I do the short hikes, I just have like a hydration pack or something to put around my waist where I can put water and some snacks in. If you're talking backpacks, when I do overnights, I had my first backpack was a Go Light pack. I really didn't get to use that too much. And then just any kind of backpack, like the ULA I got a year and a half ago now, I want to say. And once I got that, I never used the Go Light again. So I would use that even when it wasn't full. It was overkill to carry the catalyst. I just would use it because I wanted to get used to it. Who's next? Let's see, Stephanie Musket, I want to say. Says, what items were you willing to sacrifice to have extra comfort in your pack? What did I sacrifice? Gosh. I pared down a few things. Like I was trying to do a sleeping bag, and it wasn't really working out for me. And I found that if I went to a quilt system, I shaved off like a lot, like nearly a half of a pound, I think. And that freed up a lot. I was going to bring, I was thinking about like a I want to say a DSLR camera, but I thought, you know what, this takes really good video, pretty darn good photos, and so I'm like, no, let's get rid of that, because that's heavy. And I originally started with a GoPro, and I actually got rid of that for the second half of my hike, because it's just, I wasn't using it, and I'm like, it all adds up, it gets too heavy. So, but comfort items, I guess the only comfort item, it's not a comfort item, it's necessary. I sleep on an air mattress, and I ditched the really bad brand for the Big Agnes, which is like 2 ounces heavier, 3 ounces heavier, I think. That was a little bit more. I'll put my my lighter pack down below, because especially for Eglet's question, so she sees exactly how much what I'm carrying. She can kind of go through that too. I don't know if I sacrificed. I sacrificed more clothing. Like I only had 2 pair of socks instead of 3. I didn't have a change of pants. I had my sleeping stuff, but I didn't have a change except for the one I was hiking in. So, I mean, that was a sacrifice to make sure I wasn't trying to add stuff that was a sacrifice. I was trying to save those ounces. Yeah. Okay. I think this is Danny N or Donnie N. I think it's Danny N. I can't read my own writing. Have you ever used a knife sheath that you can wear around your neck? I didn't bring the knife with me. I was going to bring that little knife that I have. That knife with the knife sheath actually originally had a lanyard, and that was the original idea. I was going to wear it around my neck so I could just go and take it out if I need to. But literally the night before I went, I'm like, okay, let's tie this around and see how it works. And that. The lacing was slicker than snot, and it would not keep a knot around my neck. And I didn't have anything to replace it with, because it would just fall constantly, because it would become unraveled, untied. So I'm like, so I just ditched it. I'm like, it's extra weight anyways, and I just put it in my pocket instead. So yeah, originally that was the idea, but it just didn't work out, unfortunately. All right, Thomas Kirby has a question. It's Daisy's dad. I don't know if you watch Daisy she's doing vlogs. She hiked last year, and then she's hiking again this year, and she's had a huge weight loss, and she's doing so well. I'm way behind on her videos, but I think they flipped over the Sierra. They think they did Whitney, and then they got off at Keysarge Pass, and I think they flipped north, but I'm not positive on that. But anyways, his question. He asked, could a cat get to that rain jacket at some point? He was referring to my Patagonia that wetted out. Not my hiking gear. I'm really good about, we keep the cats out of our bedroom, and then we have a walk-in closet within the bedroom as well, and I kept all my hiking clothing in that, and they rarely got into the bedroom, and they never got into the closet. So no, it's just, I don't know what happened there. It was a bummer. Loved the color though. It was very pretty. Okay. Deanna Banan, I think it says, do you use an inReach or a safety locator? Yeah, if you've watched those videos, that orange thing that's right here on me all the time, that's a Garmin inReach. I love that thing. They have smaller versions, which I might, I've got the big one. I'm not going to get rid of that. But I love that thing for, I used it for tracking for family members so they could watch me. There's some bugginess to their software, so, but some people could watch me, some people could not. I used it for sending messages when I didn't have signal from my phone. Yeah, it was nice. It's a nice safety. I wasn't so worried and so stressed out about running across like a snake and getting bit by a snake. I knew I could hit that if things got really bad. But I never had to, thankfully. LaDonna Sofranco asked, would I wear rain pants? How would you keep your shoes dry too? Shoes, especially if it's raining or if you're doing water crossings, you're not going to keep them dry. don't even think you're going to keep them dry. It's just not going to happen. If you can take them off and dry them off, air them out, that's great. But would I wear rain pants? I did plan on that once I hit the Sierra. That was going to be in my resupply out there. And generally, it doesn't rain on the PCT very often. It usually rains about 6 times a year on average. But this year is not typical. Somebody behind me over there. I hear a dog. This year, I don't know. I did see people wearing rain pants because of all the rain we were getting, but I was not. And I'm okay generally if I keep my core warm. The bottom can get wet, but I was actually pretty miserable that last day coming down because my pants were soaked. So in hindsight, yeah, I think waterproof pants would have helped, but I sent that ahead because of the weight issues to where I thought I would need it, not thinking I'd need it during the desert portion. But shoes, you're going to get it wet anyways. Don't worry about, do not get waterproof shoes because they'll never dry out. And Andrea Pittman asked, was it difficult to continue filming when you were struggling and deciding whether to continue or not? Yes, because I wanted to keep it real, and I didn't want to say, okay, I'm going to film my failure here, but I've got to do it. I want people to see what I'm going through to maybe help them prepare if they're going, and also for me, I want to look back and I'm going to remember the good times. I'm not going to always remember the bad times. So I wanted to film everything. And actually, if it's a question of, let's say there's a long sustained uphill, and I stopped to film. I did that a lot because it helped me catch my breath and take my mind off my misery of going uphill. So filming helps distract you too. But I don't regret filming, even the bad, even when I was struggling and deciding whether or not to go on. Nah. Kelly Talent asks, what is the coolest thing you saw on your hike? Oh man, there's 2 things that come to mind. One is that view coming out of Mount Laguna when you came up out of the forest and you're starting to go along this ridge, and then all of a sudden you see way in the distance, you see San Jacinto and San Gorgonio, and you can tell there's a ridge right there, and then you walk up and you just see huge vast sweep of the Santa Rosa Mountains and the desert floor with all the flowers, and then above the Santa Rosa Mountains you see more desert, the other mountains, and then you see the Salton Sea over to the right. It was stunning, and it just came up like that, and you're like, oh, windy it was just crazy windy, but it was just gorgeous. That was really cool. And the part of the hike between Barrel Springs and Warner Springs where you hit the mountain meadows and Eagle Rock, that was just gorgeous too. Those were 2 of my favorite parts of the trail that I was on. I'm sure I would have had many more favorites had I kept continuing, but in the future. Goddess Bettina asked, are you done with the PCT for the season? What was your favorite and least favorite piece of equipment? Am I done for the season? For the summer season, yes. It's too hot to hike down here right now, obviously. We're probably, Phil would tell me, we're probably in the mid to upper 80s right now in the shade. So yeah, for the season. Now for fall, depending on water sources, I may go back in the fall and knock out a little bit of bead. I don't know. I'm just going to play it by ear. We've also got a wedding coming up next year, I want to say. So I have to make sure I have enough vacation time to take to go to that wedding. But yeah, we'll see. What was my favorite and least favorite part of my equipment? My favorite would be my sleeping pad, the Big Agnes Axle Air Insulated. That thing is so thick and doesn't deflate. At least it didn't for me. It was really a nice piece of equipment. It really helped my sleep. Least favorite? Least favorite? That should be easy. It's the rain and wind jacket that wetted out. Patagonia. That scared me. Did you guys see him? I don't know if he was in the frame. There's this blackbird that just went by and went, "Arr!" Oh, that was scary, man. Dude. I'll see if I can get a shot of him later. There's several of them in here. All right, next question. Kimberly Moline asked, I'm curious what your favorite and least favorite parts of the sections you hiked were. I kind of answered my favorite ones before with Kelly's questions. My least favorite was probably, I would have to say, the second day. I loved Hauser Creek and Hauser Canyon down there, but that heat coupled with just, it was only like 5 or 6 miles, but I was not enjoying myself that day. That was probably my least favorite. So the climb out of Scissors Crossings was pretty brutal too, but it seemed a little bit more interesting. I don't know why. Probably because it wasn't as hot. But those two were probably my least favorite. The second day was probably my least favorite day on the hike. OK Blue Lime Strong asks, heading back to work ASAP? Am I heading back to work ASAP to save both vacation time and money for next year? I blew through my vacation time in April. April was all my vacation time that I was hiking. And the rest of the time after that was a leave of absence without pay. So I'm through my vacation time. I am going back to work in the next couple of weeks, I want to say. I took like a month just so I could get some stuff done, which I'm glad because I won't go into it, but it's taking a while to get through some problems. I made a major purchase and it's being problematic. Let's just put it that way. Me and Tammy are taking some time to ourselves. She's getting, her last day of work is coming up, and we're going to go do a couple of fun things before I go back to work in July. So there is no vacation time, but I'll start accruing that, I think, as soon as I return. I'm not sure. And I had put away money for this hike, so I'm living off savings now, but I do need to get back because I do want those paychecks back soon. Chubby Hiker asked, are you really sure you'll never through hike again, ever? Will you start over again at Campo, ever? I don't think my body can do a through hike. Even if I dropped weight and got more fit, you don't just get rid of arthritis. There's things you can do to make it easier. Nutrition and weight will help if you drop it a little bit. But I not only have the regular old arthritis, osteoarthritis, whatever, I have rheumatoid arthritis. That's not too bad. Every time I do blood work, I get tested for that, and it's mild, so it's under control. I don't see myself being able to devote the time from work and take all that off. Maybe after retirement, but even then, now you're older with more compound problems, health problems. I'm starting being attacked by gnats. So no, I don't think I'd through hike again. But I would lash. I would do a long section hike. Would I start for Campo again? I've done it already. Why would I do it again? No, I think I'll start at Warner again, because there's no good starting point past Warner to jump in where I only made it like 8 or 9. No, I made it 8 miles in from Warner. So no, I just start over at Warner section B and hike that portion again. But yeah, I don't want to redo what I did. Why reinvent the wheel? Maybe edit a little bit of that. Oh, I think that's it. You didn't even wave, man. Come on. You're crashing my video. You didn't even wave. They probably think I'm on a job. Anyways, I think that's all the questions that I have. Here's a short little 360 of the park. It's not a large park. It's just nice. It's right by City Hall in La Quinta, and the Wellness Center and the library is over there. What is that? Is that a Canadian geese right there? Is that a swan? It's pretty. It's a pretty white chest. I've heard there's a bunch of duck. Oh, there's little baby ducks. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's Mama Duck, and she has a couple of baby ducks following her. Let's see if I can. Aww. Here they are. Oh my god, they're so cute. Oh, there's a turtle right in front of her too. You see him? OMG, look at those baby ducks, little ducklets. I see two. Why is it that every sort of baby animal is so freaking adorable? Yeah. Did I mention it's a golf mecca out here? Alright, back at home, it's a lot cooler here, and I'm going to cut up everyone's names. I'm writing them down right now, and we're actually going to use my hiking hat to pull them out of today. So let me cut them up, and I'll show you put them in here, and then we'll draw for the prize, which I forgot to go grab, so I'm going to go grab that too. Okay everybody, it is time to do the drawing for the sit pad, or as other people call it, an ass pad. Super lightweight, gentle leopard. I ordered what I thought was one, but I ended up getting two in the pack, so I'm like, hey, okay, so let's do this. Alright, so this is where I'm putting everything, and these are the people who I'm entering. There's a lot of people this time, man. Okay, so we've got Kimberly Moline. Did I even ask a question by her? I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I did. Sorry, I had to double check. This is the first time we've entered, so I was confused. Let's put Kimberly in there. We've got the chubby hiker. She is hoping to go hike next year, to attempt through hike next year. So let's, fingers crossed, everything works out with your ankle and foot and you get there. This is OK Blue Line Strong. Goddess Patina. Kelly Talent. Kelly's been a follower of the channel for quite a while. So has LaDonna. LaDonna Sofranco. Deanne Bannon. I think I massacred your name earlier. I'm so sorry. It's a little bit. It's spelled a little bit more clear here. And said my writing, my penmanship is absolutely terrible. We got Thomas Kirby, father of Daisy, aka Smiles. We have Danny M. Stephanie Muscat, or Muscat. Renee Blaylock. I'm using an old map backing of one of the PCT pages. Liz Ramos. Festina. Maybe I should have got a bigger hat. Andrea Pittman. Chris Claypool. aka Mac and Cheese Dude. Roguelite. And Eaglet. Or Eaglet or Eaglet. Okay, so here comes the fun part. Mixing this up where I can't see anything. Which is hard to, because I just realized it's not a, would have been better in a baseball cap. So I'm not looking, I'm just mixing stuff up. Trying not to look anyways. Let's pick a winner. Maybe. I'm sorry, not trying to look. Alright. And the winner is, hey, Rogue Life. Awesome. So, Rogue Life, I think you're on my Facebook page. I could be wrong. If you're not, contact me via Facebook or just let me know how I can contact you here, and I will mail this out to you free of charge. Free equipment, hooray! Hey, congratulations to you, and thank you guys for submitting the questions. I enjoyed answering them. I do have some videos coming up very soon, just depending on when I can record things. I've got the Section A breakdown again for lodging and camping areas, and going to Laguna Beach this week, actually. Gosh, that's this week already. And I know there's some trails around there. Tammy's with me, so we're not going to do anything too crazy, but there's definitely going to be some tide pools and some cliff walking involved, so I'll record that. And Disneyland is coming up too. And then I have to go back to work. But that's okay, because there's going to be some more adventures in the future. All right, you guys have a great rest of the week, and I will see you next time.